Hello, my name is Sunil Yadav. I will talk about what is design pattern and how we can start with design pattern. So basically, design pattern is like if you see like design pattern are best formalized practice as a programmer can use to solve common problem when designing an application. So basically, if we follow the design pattern, we can design our software um, very solid. So that we don't see any technical debts and it's very easy to understand. So reusing design patterns help prevent subtle issues and cause major problem, and improve code readability for coders and architects who are familiar with the patterns. So if you see, like we have many software design principle, like if we follow these principles, it's really nice. Like most system knows best if you kept simple rather than made complex. So keep it simple. Yagni means Agni stands for you are not gonna need it. So many best practices here. If you can go through, I will share this link in comment section. Yeah, so you can do that. And I will ask you if you can go with the book, read the design patterns, and it's really nice. So I will talk about design patterns like creational pattern. So creational pattern is basically creating the object, how we are going to create the object minimum, so that we can reuse the object again until it's not required, because creating the object is really costly process because you are allocating lot of memory. So if you see the creational pattern, we have a prototype, abstract factory, builder, right? So many design pattern we have. Singleton, right? Prototype. I will try to give the example. So in this uh, GitHub page, if you see, that's really nice way. uh, mm, we have all the example what we need for Java programmer. So I will share this link and you can go through it if you want yourself, but yeah, I'm just going to use this tutorial and will share with you one by one. Okay, so let's talk about creational design pattern. So creational design pattern is, what is creational design pattern? So if you go to readme page, it is saying ensure a class only has a one instance and provide a global point of access to it. So basically, might be you have seen if you are using like any framework like Spring Boot, so by default all the object created is singleton until you not specify like you want some scope prototype or something, you can do that, but by default singleton. And so that is really good. Unnecessary if you know this class and these things is going to be initialized in first time while your application is going to start, and that object you're going to reuse again unnecessary, not going to create it. It help to unnecessary allocating lot of memory for that object. So how we can do that? So if you see here, right, we can create the object using the enum. So if you know the enum, if you use in enum keyword, like so here, like in enum based singleton implementation, so in effective second Java, those fellows had mentioned, right, we can use this one with thread safe. However, adding any other method and thread safety is developer responsibility. So here is only one instance going to create. So if you run it, but I will go through the first is like this example, every tower. So here if you see, so this one is the singleton class eagerly initialized static instance guaranteed thread safety. So here once this is going to create eagerly basically. So whenever this class is going to load, is going to call the static variables, is going to load it first and then try to create the object. So this is something is already created. We didn't ask it, but it's going to automatically create it through the JVM class loader, right? So if you run this class and let's see, so here we are creating two objects, right? But make sure this object is equal. So here if you see like highest code method, highest code is both are same. So the both classes are singleton, means no two duplicate object is created for the same class. So this one is eagerly initialize singleton, and if we want to lazily initialize means when I ask, right, when we ask give me the object, then that time is going to call, right. So if you go through here, the thread safety lazy loaded get instance, if I go here, so what we did here actually in this example, so we are creating the static volatile type instance, and this is because I'm saying the thread shape. So volatile we are using, so is going to always visible to all the thread whenever who is going to write it. So first time we are going to create the object, and here we are using a private constructor, and here we are saying instance is not equal. So somebody can call the your private constructor through the reflection as well. So we are trying to keep this object is not initialized or called by the, if it can be called by the reflection, but if instance is not equal to null, then we will say is already initialized, right. We can throw the exception. And here we are trying to create the instance does not create until the method is called for the first time. So we need to call here, but here we didn't call it. It is automatically loaded because we are trying to use static initializer block, right. Here we created the new instance, then it's now we're putting in the method. So here we are saying if instance is equal to null, then we are trying to log this with the synchronized keyword method right here in the class level locking, and we are saying if instance is equal to null, then create the object, right. So this way, so this is called lazy loading. So if you call here, let me comment this section, and you can run it. So here you can see these objects are created, right, and if you see both objects are equal, right, because reference is equal, right, singleton. And a similar thing we can achieve through the enum, right. So here we are saying the enum singleton. So here we can say enum arbit hour dot instance, and here like enum singleton, and if we can run it, we will see the same thing, and both objects should be equal. So here again both objects are equal. Now we are seeing double checked locking. So we are trying to again create the safety through the double locking. So let me comment it and explain it. So here if you see the get instance, so basically local variable increase the performance by 25%. That's what I think written in effective Java page number 23. So here we are trying to create the double locking, right. So here we are trying to say if instance, here this instance we are creating here, and we are trying to initialize into the local variable, right, the result, and again then we are comparing result is equal to null, right. Check if singleton is initialized. If the initialized, then we can return the instance. So here if is equal to null, not is equal to null, is equal to null, then we initialize it, otherwise return the same result here. So first we need to initialize the global variable into local variable, then we are trying to do here so it is not initialized, but we cannot be sure because the same other thread might have initialized it in the meanwhile. So we make sure we need to log an object to get the mutable execution, right. So we are trying to log on the class level synchronized, and then we are trying to reinitialize it, and again we are checking. So here we are checking two times because might be somebody logged it, right, and they have instanced it, but we can checking again if this instance is again initialized or not. Again if this is not initialized, then we are saying hey, give me the object. So this is double safe check actually locking we are doing here. And if we run this one, and let me comment this part and try to run it. So here again we are getting the same object. So this is double locking, and this may guarantee, right, thread safety. And then is like initialize on the demand holder idiom. So let me see in this one, let me comment this part. And here what we are trying to do, initializing on demand, right. So let us see. So here if you see here we don't have instance variable, like a static variable in the class level, like class should be final as well, and this is private, and but we are trying to instance in the helper class. So provide lazy loaded singleton instance. So we have a static class in inner class actually, and the class level, like if you see, this was my top class, and here we have one private static class holder class, and we are trying to instantiate it, right? So here is like through the public static method we are trying to return is whenever is asked for it actually. So provided the lazy loaded singleton instance. So here in the initialize on demand holder item is secure way to creating a lazy initialize singleton object in Java. The technique is lazy as possible and works in all known version of Java. It takes advantage of language guarantees about the class initialization and will therefore work correctly in Java compliance virtual machines, right? So the inner class is referenced no earlier, right, and therefore loaded no earlier by the class loader then the moment the get instance is called. Thus this solution is thread safe without required a special language constructor volatile synchronous connection. So ideally we should use this kind of method whenever we are going to create a singleton, so need to synchronize, and this is be taken care because because if you see this solution is thread safe without requiring a special connector. This inner class is referenced no earlier, right, then the moment that instance is called. So because this is inner class we are using, and it's not going to be used anybody and going to use first time whenever it's called, right? So this is really nice way we can create the singleton class and whenever is needed, and without writing a lot of code and necessarily declaring static volatile variable. We just have a private static class. Under this you just declare the public static final variable and just try to initialize it. So here we are initializing it and load through the guest instance method itself. So it's thread safe. So yeah, so this is actually I wanted to explain you because singleton design pattern are so many while you're giving the interview or you're trying to use in your project. So try to implement it. So hopefully you like this session, and please share my channel and share your feedback. Thank you so much.